Wide awake, honey.
Mom yawned and stretched.
Well, that was weird.
She declared. Grammy and I lit up quietly as Mom recomposed herself. How do you feel, Mom? I asked, rather hopefully.
Good.
She said.
I feel like I just slept for a week.
Grammy put her cigarette down on the edge of the ashtray and reached for her notepad. As soon as she turned, my mom picked it up, took it to her lips, and took a huge puff. Grammy and I were astonished. We both stared at her in amazement.
What?
Mom said sharply.
I used to smoke years ago, before I had you, baby.
That was for me, of course,
I had no idea.
Grammy exclaimed.
Like I'd tell you.
Mom replied sarcastically. She went to hand Grammy's cigarette back to her.
No, you finish it, honey.
Grammy said, reaching for a fresh one.
Thanks, Mom.
Mom said, taking another greedy puff. I just continued to stare at her in amazement. This was my mom, and she was smoking. Grammy opened her notepad and readied her pen. She looked at Mom.
Well, Janet?
She prompted. Mom took another puff of her cigarette.
Okay.
She sighed.
You got me. Something happened,
She said.
I don't know what exactly, but then, how could I? I was hypnotized.
She looked at Grammy rather accusingly.
I was hypnotized, right?
Grammy sighed.
Yes, dear. You were hypnotized.
Mom took a luxurious puff of her cigarette and said thoughtfully,
I guess I can see how people fall for this nonsense.
Mom, I exclaimed as I crushed out my almost forgotten cigarette. How can you say that?
Oh, come on, honey. I don't know if any of that really happened. She could have made the whole thing up.
Grammy took a long puff of her cigarette, trying not to lose her temper.
Janet,
She said firmly.
Zoe was here the whole time. She'll confirm it. Everything you experienced came from you.
Mom looked at me. It's true, Mom, I insisted. Mom shrugged.
That still doesn't mean I believe any of it. I might just be remembering an old movie or something.
Then let's test it.
Grammy challenged her.
Tell us what you do remember.
Mom sighed, finishing her cigarette and crushing it out.
Okay. I was in some kind of nightclub.
She said.
It was dark. The lighting was awful. It was kind of cold, and everyone was smoking. I guess it all looked terribly old-fashioned.
Grammy nodded, taking careful notes.
And then there was this woman, Magda. Very aloof, very self-assured, elegant, and very beautiful.
Do you think it was you? I asked.
What do you mean, honey?
Do you have the sense that you might have been Magda?
Grammy clarified. Mom snorted with derision.
Don't be ridiculous,
She said firmly.
I was not some hooker in Nazi Germany.
I thought you said she was a call girl. Not a hooker? I offered.
Oh, it's the same thing, honey, no matter what you call it.
Wait a minute.
Grammy interceded.
Why do you think that it was Nazi Germany?
Mom looked confused.
I said so, didn't I? When I was hypnotized, right?
No, honey, you didn't.
Grammy replied. Mom looked to me and I shook my head. Mom's expression wavered, then she exploded.
See?
She stormed, pointing an accusing finger at Grammy.
This is what she does. She messes with your head.
Furiously, she picked up the wine bottle, filled her glass, and then drank half of it in 2 big gulps. Then she turned to me.
Could I have one of your cigarettes, honey?
Of course, Mom. I let her take one, passed a fresh one to Grammy, then took one for myself. I lit up Mom first, and she attacked her cigarette with a huge double puff. Exhaling a satisfied sigh, she said,
God, I forgot how much I loved this.
Grammy smiled as she lit up her cigarette.
So, is this a thing now, Janet?
She asked calmly.
Are you smoking again?
Mom looked at me as I lit up, then, after taking a long puff, replied,
Screw it. Yes, I've been a good girl for 25 years. It's about time I enjoyed myself.
"What's Dad going to say?" I asked.
Oh, your father will love it.
Mom replied,
He always used to tell me I looked sexy when I smoked.
"Really?" Grammy let her enjoy her cigarette for a while, then said,
So, I think it may help if I explain honey. Just like in a dream, sometimes you get all kinds of background stuff that you just know without it being explained or experienced, like it's just part of the memory.
That's kind of convenient, isn't it?
Mom asked with her typical cynicism. Grammy shrugged.
Maybe it is. I don't know. No one really understands how this all works.
She took a puff of her cigarette and continued,
However, this background stuff is often really useful information. So, Janet, think, is there anything else that you just know? Maybe even just a sense of something?
Mom took a thoughtful puff of her cigarette, closing her eyes for a moment. Then she said,
Magda wasn't her real name. At least, not the name her parents gave her. She chose it.
Do you know what her real name was?
Grammy asked.
No, only Magda.
What about the nightclub? You think it was in Germany? Any idea where exactly?
Mom frowned.
I want to say Berlin, but that may be because it's the only place in Germany that I know.
Anything else?
Grammy asked.
Rats.
What's that, honey?
Something about a rat killer. I don't know what that's about.
Her eyes opened and she shook her head. Turning to Grammy and very much back to her old self, she said,
You're good. I'll give you that.
Grammy countered.
Despite your tone, I'll take that as a compliment.
Mom finished her cigarette and, looking at me, said,
So, what happens now?
Grammy stepped in quickly.
Now I go to work.
She said,
Okay, it's not much to go on, but it's a lead. I know a few people in Germany. I'll let them know what we have and set them loose on it. It's a tough one. It's a different country and a difficult time. But there's a chance we might find Magda somewhere in the records.
Mom took all this in calmly, still looking at me.
Zoe?
She said, "You're not convinced, are you?" I asked.
Convinced? No.
She replied,
I don't know what that was. But I can't just accept it, honey.
I was bitterly disappointed, but I tried not to show it. "Well then," I said thoughtfully, "I guess we wait and see what Grammy's friends can find." After I got home and told Lena what happened, we called Grammy.
Well, we knew it was a long shot,
She said,
and I know you're disappointed, sweetheart, but it was a bit much to expect her to turn round just like that.
"Yes, I know, but, you know?"
Hey, you got her to go through with it? That's no small achievement, honey.
Lena gave my hand a gentle squeeze.
And there's still a chance we'll turn up something on Magda. One thing my contacts have already confirmed. The rat killer thing? It's most likely Rathskeller.
What's that?
Lena asked.
It's not at all how it sounds.
Grammy explained.
It actually translates as council cellar, a bar or nightclub housed in an old council wine cellar. My German friends picked up on it immediately, so it's a good lead.
"What about Magda?" I asked.
Well, it's a common name, and we know it wasn't her real name. That complicates things, but my colleagues are very thorough.
So there's still a chance?
Lena asked optimistically.
Yes, Lena, honey, there's still a chance.
Lena took my hand.
Then we can tell her the whole story, our story, and she'll understand that we're meant to be together.
I was still kind of impatient and frustrated, but I managed to smile.
I'll tell you one thing.
Grammy added mischievously.
If I ever get the chance to hypnotize her again, I'm putting in an off switch.
Can you really do that? I gasped.
Sure.
Grammy said, then clearly noticing my expression added,
Oh, it's not as bad as it sounds. She'll just drop into a trance for a little while. Like I said, it'll probably do her some good.
I should have said something. Told her not to. But I didn't. I think part of me wanted to see it. I don't know.